India's biggest evacuation exercise, Vande Bharat mission underway. On the first day, 2 flights carrying Indians from Abu Dhabi and Dubai reached Kerala. INS Jalashwa bringing home fellow countrymen stranded in Maldives through the sea route. And in an exclusive interview to DD News, Union Civil Aviation Minister Hardeep Singh Puri says nearly 1,90,000 stranded Indians have registered for evacuation. Also informs that aviation sector in India will be opened in a phased and calibrated manner once the situation normalizes. In Maharashtra, 15 migrant workers marched down by a goods train between Jalna and Aurangabad of Nanded division. RPF and local police rushed to the site of the tragedy. Visakhapatnam police registers FIR against LG Polymers factory for negligence as stearine gas leak from plant kills 11 persons. Prime Minister reviews Vizag gas leakage accident. Andhra Pradesh government orders probe. Union Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan reviews preparedness, containment measures taken for COVID-19 management in Uttar Pradesh, Odisha and West Bengal. Stresses that states need to ensure adoption of infection, prevention and control practices in all healthcare settings to avoid and reduce chances of infection to the healthcare workers. In the ongoing COVID-19 outbreak, 15,266 patients cured and discharged in India. Total active cases of COVID-19 rise to 35,902. Death toll due to the pandemic reaches 1,783. Coronavirus cases across the world rise over 38 lakh, with over 2,68,000 deaths reported so far. US, Britain, Italy, Spain and France are the worst affected countries. Good morning, you're watching DD News and I'm Preeti presenting the bulletin. We'll begin with some breaking news coming in from Maharashtra. 15 migrant workers were killed after coming under a goods train between Jalna and Aurangabad of Nanded division of South Central Railway in Maharashtra today. The workers who were walking to Bhusawal from Jalna were returning to Madhya Pradesh. An official at the Karmar police station has said they had been walking along the rail tracks and slept on the rail tracks due to exhaustion when they were mowed down by the train at 5:15 a.m. Our correspondent Shishir is joining us from Mumbai to get us more on the train accident that killed the migrants in Maharashtra. Shishir, when we talk of this tragedy, get us the latest, confirm the number of migrant workers for us and also let us know, were there any women amongst them?
The information that we received so far from the public relations officer of the railway says that there were actually some of the migrant laborers actually have been going on a work at the Karmad near the Aurangabad district when an empty rake of goods and wagons actually ran over some people. Currently, the RPF and local police are reaching the spot to exit the situation and getting from Aurangabad route near the MIDC Karmad. And these actually were people who were working in the nearby MIDC area where the people actually were going on a job there. The accident took place. The accident took place between the Aurangabad-Jalna route where an empty wagon actually was running over some of the migrant laborers. That's what the initial information that you received. Those who actually been injured in this accident have been hospitalized near the hospital here. But still, the more details are awaited as in how many people have been injured here and how many have been killed.
All right. Also, let us know any word coming in from the administration.
Well, as right now, the officials have reached the situation here that uh, whose fault is it? The entire situation probably the police have also reached on the spot here. The most important thing is that to rescue people actually and take them to the hospital and operate on them. That's what the first priority of the government at this point in time, official at this point in time. And that's the reason no officials actually speaking at this point. The SP of the region have also reached the spot, and as the situation, soon we'll get the more details about it.
All right, and the trains, let us know more details on the track. Are the trains plying on that track still progressing as per their schedule, or have the trains been rescheduled or rerouted?
Well, currently, the railway authority, have not given any clarification on exactly which trains are running on this slot here, basically on this route. But this was actually the Aurangabad-Jalna route that we have been got to know. And the empty rigs actually were running over as the goods and services, the goods train and the goods wagon working. And that's the reason even this was an empty wagon that was going on this route here. That's the information we got here. But as far as the passenger trains and other trains and other traffic is concerned, the officials have not given any words on that as well.
Shishir, also let us know these migrant workers, were they moving along the rail track in groups? Are there more workers, more migrant workers there, or were there these 14 migrant workers who've lost their lives?
Well, a group of laborers, a group of workers actually was traveling across the lane here. That's what we got to know. And there was actually an MIDC area, nearby area, and the people were going to the MIDC area. That's what we got to know. But were there any other group who were traveling with them has not been clarified yet, because officials just reached an access situation. So as soon as the officials give any official word, probably we will comment on it. But what we got to know is that the group of people who got injured in it actually moving towards the MIDC area.
All right, Shishir, thank you so much for joining us with those details. So that was our correspondent Shishir joining us and getting us details on the accident which took place today in Aurangabad, wherein the migrant workers were mowed down by a goods train in Maharashtra. We are awaiting an official word on the accident by the administration. We'll keep you updated. Meanwhile, let's get to other news. Two special flights from the UAE carrying a total of 354 Indian nationals, including 9 infants, reached Kerala on Thursday night as India began its biggest ever repatriation exercise to bring back its citizens stranded abroad amidst the coronavirus-induced travel restrictions. The first Air India Express flight carrying 177 passengers from Abu Dhabi landed in Kochi. Later, the Dubai Kozhikode flight brought back many nationals as part of the massive repatriation exercise named VANDE Bharat mission. There are no suspected COVID-19 cases among the first batch of passengers being repatriated on Thursday, as all of them have cleared the tests. The criteria of passenger selection included medical cases, loss of jobs, pregnant women and senior citizens. On Monday, the Indian government announced plans to begin a phased repatriation of its citizens stranded abroad from May 7th. The government has also said that Air India will operate 64 flights from May 7th to May 13th to bring back around 15,000 Indian nationals stranded abroad due to the lockdown. The Indian missions in the UAE finalized the list of passengers who were chosen based on the compelling reasons they had submitted while registering their names. The Air India crew members on board the repatriation flights were donning the full range of personal protective equipment. And our correspondent Arun Sharma is joining us with more details from Delhi. Arun, we've told our viewers that 2 special flights from UAE carrying 354 Indian nationals have landed. And though there are no suspected COVID-19 cases among these first batch of the evacuees who have been repatriated, let us know more about what next for them, what preventive and precautionary measures are to be taken care of.
Well, as the government said that all the passengers who are coming back to India will be, in a sense, screened when they board the flight from the foreign soil and when they come back over here. in India, there will be again thermal screening will be done. And no, I mean, all the asymptomatic passengers will only be allowed to travel as far as this travel is concerned to coming back to India. The important part is that they'll be in a 14-day quarantine, and of course, they'll have to follow all the health ministry protocols as far as the quarantine is concerned. So yes, yesterday was the day one. Now the day two, if we talk about the day two, Preeti, the important good news is that the flight evacuation has again started now on the day two. And we know this fact that 64 flights in 7 days, that means from 7th of May to 13th of May, and close to 15,000 passengers or Indians will be coming back to India. Now, today, the good news is that several flights like from Dhaka to Srinagar, that's an important flight because Kashmiri students will be coming back to Srinagar. So that's an important part. These medical students, the Kashmiri students were there in Bangladesh, and now they'll be coming back to India. Given the fact the flight from Singapore has departed from Singapore, and in next 1.5 or 2 hours, the flight from Singapore will be again landing over here. The flight to San Francisco has left from from India. So these are the evacuation has primarily started, and yes, government is ensuring that yes, they take 100% care that no symptomatic passenger and all the asymptomatic passengers do travel. So that's why at both the points thermal screening is being done, and the quarantine according to the health ministry protocols is ensured over here to ensure the safety and security of the passengers and of course India as well.
All right, Arun, also let us know more details about what is in line for the Vande Bharat mission, because we've told our viewers that the people living in the other countries, the Indians living abroad, will be brought back. Let us know more as to, we've told the viewers about the criteria. Spell out more details of the mission.
All right. So yesterday we had an interaction with the Civil Aviation Minister, Hardeep Singh Puri, and he clearly said that there is a great demand. I mean, close to 2 lakh people, they want to come back to India. So now what government has done is that under this Vande Bharat mission, the Indians who are stranded abroad will be brought back to India. So in first phase, we can say, primarily in first week, 15,000 passengers or Indians will come back, but India is expecting a size of approximately 2 lakh passengers. That's a conservative target to bring back in these 2 lakh Indians back to India. And on the other side, all those foreign nationals or people who are having valid visas, or the OCI card holders, green card holders who are stranded in India and they want to go back to their destination, to the countries whereby these evacuation flights are taking place, so they can also book the tickets. So that means on one side, India is facilitating the foreign nationals as well to go back to their respective country in these evacuation flights, which were going empty in any case from India. And on the other side, India is also evacuating. In the next day or two, we'll be having another schedule of this Vande Bharat mission, whereby the schedule, the next schedule will be announced as to how many passengers or Indians will be evacuated. So yes, it's a mega exercise. When we understand this fact, this is the largest ever evacuation process done by any country. We are expecting close to 2 lakh passengers or Indians to return back. So it's a mega exercise. It's a huge drill which government is ensuring in a phase-wise manner going forward, and ensuring all this security aspects so that only asymptomatic passengers do come India. That's an important part, and the passengers who are coming back to India will also be in a quarantine for 14 days. That's an important part as far as the safety and security is concerned.
All right, Arun, now this is not for the first time that the Indian government has reached out to the Indians living abroad. We've seen instances earlier also, in the past also, wherein the Indian government has brought people back to the country and has helped the people when the need arises. Let us know, but the circumstances today are different. Facing the challenge of keeping COVID-19 at bay domestically and also reaching out to the Indians stranded abroad. Put these two things together, how tough is it for the government? And also, added to that, also facilitating the return of the foreign nationals from the country. So put all these things together, how tough is it for the Indian government to organize this mission smoothly? Given the fact that that sending back the foreigners are not part of this mission.
That's right, Preeti. It's an important part. It's a challenging task. But as the government believes in Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, and as Prime Minister Narendra Modi has also earlier talked about the Indian diaspora, the Indians living abroad, Indians working abroad, and the Prime Minister has earlier said that these Indians are the true ambassador of our country. And when the true ambassador of our country are stranded somewhere, it is an important part and it's an important responsibility of government to bring back these Indians. So yes, these Indians were in distress. Many of the Indians who lost their jobs because of the COVID-19. Preeti, we know this fact, the situation this time. I mean, as you said, that earlier also evacuations have been made. The situations were different. This is not a war-like situation. This is not another situation. It's a situation of a coronavirus or COVID-19, whereby all the countries all across the world are hugely impacted by that. There are many countries who are not at all accepting their passengers, their own nationals as well. But over here in India, India has opened the door for their nationals or the citizens who were stranded abroad. There were some who lost their jobs. There were some people, there were medical emergency in their home in India. So there are a lot of, the passengers who were stranded abroad. So now government is ensuring, on one side, it is ensuring that a safe evacuation, a secured evacuation primarily can be done as far as these Indians are concerned. And on the other side, government is also ensuring that when 2 lakh passengers or 2 lakh Indians, if we're expecting, that's a conservative target by the government, if so many passengers or Indians are coming back to India, government will also have to ensure a proper quarantine facility for these passengers. Because if any of these passengers or Indians turn out to be COVID positive, then the situation can be troublesome. So that's why, as I said earlier, the government is ensuring that at all the points, thermal screening is done. Only asymptomatic passengers are being allowed. And yes, embassy is all across the world. I mean, wherever the Indian embassies are there, the government is constantly in touch with them, collecting their
All
data
right.
and so that's an important aspect, and that's why the government is ensuring all these aspects.
All right, so safe and secure return of the evacuees is an important part of the mission. Thank you so much, Arun, for joining us with those inputs. And in an exclusive interview to DD News, Union Civil Aviation Minister Hardeep Singh Puri has said that Air India will operate 64 flights in all from May 7th to May 13th to bring back around 15,000 Indian nationals stranded abroad amidst the COVID-19 induced lockdown.
We have conceptualized and designed this scheme, which you called a mega evacuation plan. I heard the term used, it's a Herculean effort, but I think if you look at the numbers, it is quite easily the most ambitious and comprehensive scheme and framework and process to bring back Indian citizens who are in distress or stranded in different parts of the world. The original working number that we based this scheme on was something like 190,000 people.
Okay.
When we did the outreach and when people started contacting us, it became evident that this figure of 190,000 may be, in fact, a conservative figure.
And the government has meanwhile said that if the situation improves, domestic flights will be started in a calibrated manner.
Civil aviation is only a small segment of this decision which remains to be taken. The decision has to be on full resumption of economic activity. Clearly, when the time comes to take the decision, you will have to take the decision also in respect to surface transportation, railways, metro system, and civil aviation. Now, you cannot conduct air operations between 2 red zones. Clearly, the air operations will have to be thought through, and initially they will have to be confined to those areas which are not affected or are in the green zone. But you'll have to be very careful because, you know, the color of these zones can also change. I mean, you can have a zone green today with incoming passengers, it can go on. So we'll have to play this very carefully.
Under VANDE Bharat mission, Indian Navy's INS Jalashwa, which sails to Maldives for evacuating stranded Indian nationals, will start for Kochi today with evacuee Indians. INS Jalashwa, with its capacity to generate 3 megawatt of electrical power, 60,000 gallons of fresh water a day and extensive medical facilities, is ideally suited to undertake humanitarian assistance and disaster relief missions. Visakhapatnam police registered FIR against LG Polymers factory, the gas leak from which killed at least 11 people yesterday. In an affidavit submitted to the state-level Environment Impact Assessment Authority, the company has also admitted that as of May 10, 2019, the unit did not have a valid environmental clearance. Toxic styrene gas leaked at around 2:30 a.m. on Thursday from the multinational LG Polymers plant at RR Venkatpuram village. Now, according to the authorities, the gas leak impacted many villages in the radius of many kilometers. People coming in contact of the gas complained of breathing difficulties and other symptoms. The affected people were taken to hospitals, while some died due to the toxic gas. Many are in critical condition. The National Disaster Response Force, or the NDRF, rescued some 250 families from the villages. People living in 3 kilometers radius of the plant have been evacuated to safer places. NDRF has said that the situation is now under control.
बचाव कार्य जहाँ तक है वो लगभग मैं समझता हूँ पूर्ण की तरफ कहा जा सकता है, क्योंकि जितने लोगों को इवैक्यूएट करना था 90% लोगों को इवैक्यूएट किया जा चुका है। लोकल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, फायर सर्विसेज, पुलिस के साथ सहयोग करके एनडीआरएफ ने ये कार्रवाई कर ली है और अभी जो सारा दारोमदार है वो अस्पताल पर है। कुछ लोग जरूर गंभीर हैं और इन पर ज्यादा फोकस किया जा रहा है ताकि कम से कम कैजुअलिटी हो। जो गैस का रिसाव जो था, जो वॉल्यूम है वो खत्म हो।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi took stock of the situation and assured all possible assistance to the State Chief Minister Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy. He also chaired a meeting of the National Disaster Management Authority to assess the situation. Andhra Pradesh government directed investigation in the matter and said that guilty will not be spared. Chief Minister Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy announced an ex gratia payment of ₹1 crore each to the next of the kin of those killed. Union Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan reviewed preparedness and containment measures taken for COVID-19 management in Uttar Pradesh, Odisha and West Bengal through video conferencing yesterday. At the outset, Dr. Harshvardhan appreciated the dedication of all the states in combating COVID-19 pandemic in the country. He said that India is in a better condition as the fatality rate is 3.3% and the recovery rate is 28.8%. He said that the testing capacity has increased in the country and it is 95,000 tests per day with 327 government labs and 118 private labs. Cumulatively, 13,57,442 tests have been done so far for COVID-19. Dr. Harshvardhan stated that states need to focus on more effective surveillance, contact tracing and early diagnosis to keep low the fatality rate. In view of the surge in number of migrant laborers expected to reach the states in the days to come, the health minister exhorted the states on the need to increase sampling and testing of the cases along with proper quarantine arrangements of the migrant workers. Dr. Harshvardhan also suggested that along with surveillance teams in the containment areas, community volunteers may also be identified at the ward level to spread awareness about the preventive measures. Union Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan on Thursday launched the Ayush Sanjeevani app and 2 Ayush-based studies related to COVID-19 situation in the presence of Minister of State for Ayush, Independent Charge and Defence, Shri Shripad Yeso Naik, who participated through video conferencing from Goa on May 7th, 2020. And up next, we'll take a look at the latest numbers of COVID-19 cases from across the country. The total number of confirmed cases is now 56,342, out of which active cases of COVID-19 across the country are 37,916. A total of 16,539 people have been cured or discharged so far. A total of 1,886 people have lost their lives. Maharashtra government has decided to send Palghar Superintendent of Police Gaurav Singh on compulsory leave, Home Minister Anil Deshmukh said on Thursday. The minister termed the lynching of 3 persons, 2 of them seers, last month as a blot on humanity. He visited Gatchinchle village in the adjoining Palghar district, where a mob killed 2 seers and their car driver on April 16th, amid rumors about movement of child lifters and thieves in the area. The minister held discussions with local public representatives and said that Palghar SP Gaurav Singh will be sent on compulsory leave. The charge will be given to additional SP. The police have arrested 115 persons for the mob attack, which is being probed by the Crime Investigation Department of the Maharashtra Police. U.S. House of Representatives Speaker Nancy Pelosi on Thursday laid out the broad outlines of the next massive coronavirus response bill. Pelosi said that the bill's major components will include additional aid to the state and local governments, more money for coronavirus testing, and help for the financially troubled U.S. Postal Service. Without providing details, she also discussed the need for putting money in people's pockets, direct payments. The House is also expected to vote on the coronavirus rescue bill next week. In Mexico, at least 47 residents and 3 workers have been infected with COVID-19 at a retirement home in the northern state of Nuevo Leon. Now, this is one of the biggest outbreaks yet reported in the country. According to the Nuevo Leon health minister, condition of all 50 who tested positive was stable. Authorities believe that the virus could have spread from a cook who worked at the home. Mexico has so far registered 27,634 cases of coronavirus and 2,704 deaths. Nuevo Leon, which borders the United States, has reported 909 cases and 29 fatalities. Norway announced plans to reopen large parts of the Scandinavian country in the next few weeks as it seeks to return to normalcy after the lockdown. The entire school system in Norway will reopen from Monday. Bars and amusement parks could reopen on June 1st, while private gatherings of 20 people rather than 5 will be allowed. The government also aims to allow the Norwegian Football League to resume on June 16th and planned events with up to 200 participants one day earlier. However, foreigners without the right to live or work in the country are still not allowed to enter the country. The Nordic country was one of the first in Europe to curb activities to rein in the spread of novel coronavirus on March 12th and to relax some restrictions once it got the outbreak under control in late April. And up next, we get you a video on Arogya Setu app, which addresses privacy concerns. We assure our viewers that this app is completely safe and addresses the well-being of all our citizens.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good and fulfilling my duty of responsible citizen by staying at home to maintain social distancing.
Yeah, me too. Actually, I have a few doubts about the Arogya Setu app. After installing this app, what all personal information are we required to share?
When you are registering on the app, it will ask you for your name, age, gender, profession, and your last 30 days of travel history. It would also request for permission to keep mobiles, Bluetooth, and GPS location on.
So where does all this information go and get stored?
The information submitted by you is encrypted and safely stored in the server.
So information about me like where I go, with whom I meet, is also being stored in the servers?
No. If you come in contact with another person who has also installed the same app, this piece of information is captured and stored on your mobile itself. This information is not sent to the server.
Okay, so this information does not go outside my phone.
No, it does not. This information is only sent out of your mobile to the servers if you are found to be COVID positive.
Understood. If I become COVID positive, then this information is used to inform everyone who knowingly or unknowingly came in contact with me so that they can also get themselves tested.
That's correct. If you remain well, then even the government will not use this information. Your personal information will remain personal and secure within your mobile.
Will information about me be stored permanently in mobile or servers?
No, that's not the case. The captured information gets deleted from your mobile after 30 days and from the server after 45 days. In case you are found COVID positive, your information from the server will be deleted after 60 days.
This is great. This app keeps my data safe and private, and I am safe as well. I'm convinced now that Arogya Setu app is the right way to fight Corona.